Happy Friday, people. I thought I'd come on and give you a little intro into meditation and show you some of the ways that I use meditation within my life and how it's benefited me. And meditation is my number one bit of advice to anyone now that wants to change their life. Meditation does so many things mentally, but also physically and spiritually. But I think there's a misunderstanding with meditation, and there's a lot of frustration that comes with it, or a lot of perception that it's not for me. But if people actually experienced what it does, you'd do it every day. Without doubt, it's the easiest, cheapest, most powerful thing that you can do, and you can do it anytime, anywhere, and you don't need any equipment either, just your brain. So I'm going to take you through about 6 or 7 different types of meditation which will really work for me. I'm going to try to personalise it to people on here as well, because again, meditation is just a word that we've given it, but what you can get from it is literally limitless. So some examples, I work with people and I'll get out answers. So people will have a question that they really need to find that answer. And when they come out, they're like, I know exactly what country I need to move to. I had one guy who listed 4 countries out beforehand and asked him to tell me just a bit about each. And his top two was Spain and America. When he come out of it, he said, I need to go back to Austria. He said, my family are there, my sister's pregnant, but I saw myself on the beach and I saw myself in the city. So it was like his own knowing. That's how powerful meditation can get to, is that you literally ask questions and your gut feeling, your soul will give you the answers. And it's experience that you've had, it's so powerful that it was real. Like no one could ever deny that from you. So using that whole approach, everything we do in life then, when you get that feeling, when you know something feels right, you go with it. And that's where you start taking back your power and start being okay with your choices. So I'm going to go into my creation first. So think, future, feel now. And the way that I intro the creation to this, you can start using the same concept to many areas of your life. So think, future, feel now. My whole concept is all about simplifying life, making things so basic that you can make a decision. Oh, that feels a bit dodge, or that feels the right decision. You just know. That's what I'd like to try to simplify everything down to. So we've got past, present, and future. And we always use this model. And we're always told, be present, be in the now. But there's a flaw to that. If I look at it from one perspective, and I'm being present, and I'm stressed, and I've got loads of stuff that's really bugging me at the moment, be present. I'm still stressed, I'm still stuck. So we need to look at it from 2 perspectives. One's thought, the other one's feeling. Your feeling is the true present moment. I think about my past, but that feeling, that worry about it, that's now. I worry about the future. It hasn't even happened yet. But that worry, that anxiety, that's now. So I help people come back to their feelings because that is truth. And there's 2 parts to that. One, we don't express our feelings enough in life because we worry about what other people think. And the second one, and I like to use this analogy, imagine these are your thoughts. It's a thunderstorm. You get about 80,000 a day. Quite noisy. Because it's so noisy, you don't hear your gut feeling. It's too noisy. Gut feeling, you could go one deeper, that's your intuition. And one deeper than that, that's your soul. That's that little voice that's always talking to you all the way through. So a lot of times when we're in flow, that's when we get the little insights. We get the answers within the shower, when you're driving, when you're going for a run. It's when there's no activity. When you're in flow, the noise goes. So think future then. If we don't know our future, we can worry about it. But there's an opposite. We can get excited about it, our dream life, a life that we deserve. But the trouble is, most people don't know what they want. They don't know how to get there. They don't know many people that have been there. So what we focus on is what we don't want from our past. But again, that's a thought, and that feeling of don't want that's what you manifest. Does that make sense? So the whole idea of the concept is I guide you to a space which is your future, and within that space you're creating, you're answering questions, but you're experiencing. It's a full body experience, it's a soulful connection too, and at the end of it you'll get answers to all your questions. So I've got a few different examples. I had a guy that was best man for a wedding, and he was stressing so much about it, and I said, right, we'll go through an experience. He come out of it and he was literally like, I know exactly what I need to do now. I've overcomplicated things. He said, I need the room to feel happy. I need that man to know what a powerful person he is. And I'm going to look him straight in the eye. And he just said, I was there. I experienced the whole thing. So we can make important decisions. We can get answers to questions. We can create. And again, whatever you create when your eyes are closed, that feeling is still now. So then we can start working on different effects through these different examples of meditation. So I've got a wide range of playlists that I use, and I get really creative with it now. So there's loads of customized ones as well you could do for sleep, manifesting, connecting with God, having a conversation with God, creating your own pirate ship, create your crew, create your destination. And again, it just goes off in so many different angles, and I can personalize it all to each person. So that's the first one. Think, future, feel now. It's a slightly different experience, but once the membership site goes live tomorrow, then we'll do daily experiences where you get a number of different examples of this. Okay, next is mantra-based meditation. I'm not sure if anyone's tried mantra-based, but I did my meditation course with the Chopra Foundation or Chopra Center, and it was called Primordial Sound Meditation. So mantra is like your vessel to the gap, to go into your journey. And what happens is that when we go into meditation, a lot of the time we try to clear the thoughts. We find we got too much going on in our mind. That's a lot of the rejections that we get and the resistance. But we need to focus not just on the thoughts. The thoughts are always going to be there. The real experience comes from your feeling. So whilst you're observing it all, that's become the observer, you're going to notice that feeling. You're going to locate that feeling. And once you start getting the feelings, that's your experience. So we have 5 senses, and every sense will give you your human experience. Your thoughts aren't part of them senses. So this is why it's so important to really tap into your body whilst you're doing it. So mantra is so powerful as well because they're noises, and they're not noises that you associate with thought. So let me explain. If I gave you 3 words to repeat silently in your head and I said cat, dog, cat, you've already got an image of a cat and a dog. Thought comes into it. So mantra is they're noises that leave a vibration inside your body, but there's no attachment, and you keep repeating that you bring yourself present. So in the primordial sound meditation, this is a good way to explain the mantras. There was always 3 parts. The first one was the universal sound, and I'm going to try to explain consciousness and the human experience using the ocean. So Om is the universal sound. That's literally, if you listen close enough, there's this ring. That's the Om. So if you focused on Om as the universal sound, that's the whole ocean. So before we become human, we're in the ocean of consciousness. The next part is called the bija. And a bija is a seed. The seed is your uniqueness. So within primordial sounds, I give people their own bija. There's 108 universal sounds back in the Vedics. At the time you're born, when you're born, and the location that you're born, you have your own unique sound. So it'd be Om, then you have your unique sound. But for this example, just say bija. And the bija is the human experience. So within the ocean, you now get the wave that comes out. If you notice the wave, it goes up first, and it always comes down. So this is the returning process. So in life, as a human, which a lot of people still can't get their head round, we grow, but then we go through the aging process, and then we return the Namaha to the ocean again. It says Om Bija Namaha. Namaha means return back in on itself. So life and all the different stages of it, you repeat those things. So I might have waffled on a tiny bit, but what happens then is, in your silence, you're literally going to be Om Bija Namaha. Om Bija, and you say it silently in your head. You can get so still that you hear the vibrations start going through your body. But again, it's a nice way just to bring yourself present and not to get distracted. When we first go into these meditations and we're not used to sitting still, the mind goes off all the time. So as soon as you catch yourself, focus on bringing it back in by saying the Om. It's a really, really powerful one. And once you get used to doing that, that just becomes subconscious. So next one is just silence. And most places and most people that I come across nowadays don't actually get much time to be in silence. It's you time, no distractions. Silence is where all your answers come. And initially when you're in the silence, you'll get a little voice that says, you need to get back to that voicemail, you need to reply to the email. It's stuff that you know you need to do, but you keep putting off. That's why we don't like it when we sit still, because your body's or your soul's going to do it. That's what I'm going to encourage now. When you get in these silent spaces and you find it's all racing, try to observe it. Like, what is it actually telling you? And if it needs then time and attention to complete a certain task that you know is going to be a drain, is going to get you involved with maybe some situations that you don't want to be in. But if you just complete that task, you'll get all the things that you really then want to focus on. And you listen to your gut feeling to start living the life that you do want. So it's kind of a two-base thing. The first one is just try to observe and just try to handle what's thrown at you. And then the second one is then try to wait and see what answers come back to you, which leads me on to the next one. So what's beautiful about meditation is your intention. Sometimes we got too much going on in our head and too much going on in our life that when we go into the meditation, if we want to get loads and loads of different answers from it, you're unlikely to, because there's too much to focus on already. But going into the meditation, and you could do this just with one song, you set an intention. You have a question, just one question that you want the answer to. So you go into the space and you literally just ask that question silently in your head and be as specific or clear as you can within your question. Because you're going to get your answers within this silence, but the more clear that you are, the more defined and clear and precise your answer is. And this then leads into like manifesting and really getting an idea of what you want. So I've got a perfect song, and literally every single time someone needs a question answered, I've got one song that I play and the answer always comes out, or something comes out from it. So I'll just play it just to give you, and you can hear like these strings of the instruments come on, they pull, it's like a wave that you go through in music. So if you ever want a question being answered, I'll get it out of you. And to be honest, it's not even me, I just create the space, you get the answer to your question. The more you start trusting it, I've had magic stuff where I've had names like bubbles pop up, boom, boom. Matthew Parler. And I searched it up, it happened to be a conversation I had earlier in the day. When I tried getting out to Brazil, before coming back here, I had issues getting out, and I got turned away from the airport the first week. And they said, unless you've got a valid reason to be out there, you're not getting out. I managed to book a flight to Colombia, but it's still, Colombia wasn't taking people in for the UK, so it would have been risky. I did a meditation, and kid you not, chariot, just the word chariot, Mexico City. And I come out, I wrote chariot, Mexico City. I typed it in on Google. There was a Sheraton hotel that come out. with a chariot statue bang in Mexico City. So I went with my gut feeling, got straight on the flight, and 2 days later I was in Brazil. So if you really work on this stuff, it sounds woo-woo, but I can get answers that I come up with, that I feel, that I experience, that I'm going to go with, because it's the only my ego that wouldn't go with that. The more you work on this, the more you're going to start trusting in yourself. The more you're going to start creating the life that you do want, because you ask whatever question you want needs an answer, you go and ask it, and the answer will come. All we need to do is be consistent. Be confident enough that this will happen. It's never woo-woo. And that's true. It's my problem calling it woo-woo, but it's not. It gives you meaning. It gives you happiness. And also it gives me a lot more clarity in this chaotic world that we live in. So I'm going to encourage people. Imagine learning a language. You don't learn a language. Oh yeah, I shared the name of the song. You don't learn a language straight away. Like learning a skill, learning an instrument. I'd say you'd have to work at it every day for 9 months to be really good at it. Make this your meditation practice. Literally 10 minutes a day, and at the very least you get 10 minutes to yourself. At the very least. If you keep working on this is brain training. This is soul training. Literally your whole body will heal within that time as well, because once your eyes closed, you can now give it instructions. So again, I can take you on so many different journeys. There's so many different ways that you can use this, and you can see I get excited about it. I have about 1,000 questions. Yeah, guys, any questions so far? So I haven't been paying attention. So that song, by the way, is called I Am a Man That Will Fight for Your Honor. So just that on its own. I have about 100 questions. I still listen to Hans Zimmer. Yeah, Hans Zimmer Time, that's Inception from the film. I'm convinced that you can incept your brainwaves and put stuff in there too. The one thing that you got to know is that it's your own experience. So people can say, oh, this is bullshit, this is not right. But if I think it and then I feel it and I'm experiencing it and I'm laughing about it, that's my experience. Like, you can't tell me how it made me feel because I'm laughing and I feel good. So it's only my choice how I take it. That's now how I interpret God too. Like, if the sun shines in my face when my eyes are closed, I'm like, that's God. I laugh to myself. It could be completely stupid, but that's my knowing now. And again, every time I laugh because of it, why would I deny it? So this is the key part. We have a choice always. It could be or not. For me, that's faith. We go with it. Yeah, send questions, because I've got a few other examples of how I use it as well. Please say the name of the song again. It's called I Am a Man Who Will Fight for Your Honor. A lot of my videos that I've played, I put this music in the background because you get some tears sometimes. I've created one called Soul Questions to that, and that goes really deep. Like, your ego will show itself, and I'll ask you questions that you haven't asked yourself for a little while. Love Joe Dispenza. Yeah, just so Joe Dispenza's work, Becoming Supernatural. That was one of the first books I've read that put it with a science spin on it as well. And that's how I then got into epigenetics and followed the work of Bruce Lipton too. But guys, Joe Dispenza, if you just look at his story, he got run over at the age of 19 doing a triathlon in California, and his body was fucked. Like, I'll say fucked because it was literally crippled to the point where he had a choice. And he was a practicing osteopath at the time, so he was learning about the body, and he knew how incredible it was. And he had a choice. You can have this operation, but we're going to put this through your spine. You won't be able to walk ever again. Or, worst case, you can not do anything. Your lungs are going to collapse and you haven't got that much long to live. He took that option, like, out of everyone. Again, going with his gut feeling. Because when your back's against the wall, you have to make that choice, no one else. So he went with it, but he said every day, and this is why it's important, guys, to understand our body. Understand what goes on inside our body to the point of what happens when the vaccine goes in. Because if I know what happens, I can go even deeper and I can control my body again. Because it's still your life. There's no one else there. It's your creation. And it's your feelings. So you can literally bulletproof your body if you knew how it worked. This again, where I love getting creative with it, because once you understand like the pathways, and then you understand energy, and then you can literally, I'll show you. So I'm waffling on, but I love this stuff. So let me just show you the power of your inner body, because this is where it really hit me. So when we go through life, especially when you get to a certain age, we start aging, we start deteriorating, things get older. That's a worry. It always says we slow down, and like there's this attachment to, I get older, so things are getting slower, things are not functioning right. That's our own mindset that we're putting on our own system. So let me just show you. You might think your outer body is getting older. Let me just show you how amazing your inner body is. Firstly, your inner body, give or take, will be in about 10 beats per minute your whole lifetime. Maybe 20 beats, give or take. So every day, every second, your heart's keeping you alive. Every day, we find a way to get breath. Even if we sleep funny, we somehow manage to get our breath. Every day. When you cut yourself, now pay attention. When you cut yourself, what happens? Magic. Your body's already responded, right? Let's fix this. When you break your bone, what happens? Magic. The bone grows back to normal again. Your body does it all of it. But because it does it without thinking about it, it's just automatic. But when we live, our mind controls the body 100%. Your body is the bitch of the mind. Everything you put in it, so every fear, we get a bad reaction here. So if I can control what I focus on here, my body will be in harmony. That's as simple as it is. That's how the body works, and you can change every geno expression in your body. Everyone. So let's go back to the inner body. Your body's alive more than ever before, because it's always at this moment. If you close your eyes and literally put your hands out in front, focus on the tips of your fingers. Right on the tips. What do you feel? Hopefully, if you got still enough, you would feel your tips of your fingers tingling. So you've heard the phrase or the saying, where your attention goes, energy flows. There we go, tingling, tingling. So you just put your attention on a little part of your body, and it means there's energy there. It's working. What happens when we get injured? We give it no attention. What happens when we hate our look of our body? We give it no attention. We don't even look at ourselves in the mirror. What does our body need? What does life need? Energy. So again, coming back here now, when my eyes are closed, what's real? What's real? Nothing apart from my feeling, right? So if nothing's real, that means I can create whatever I want in my head. And then I'm going to see, okay, what's that feeling? A happy moment, what's that feeling? Can you see what I'm doing? I'm changing the makeup of my body through my thoughts. I'm getting creative. My eyes are closed, nothing's real anymore. It's just a feeling. So when we start then being selected, the first thing that I get people to do is first feel the tingles here, which is sometimes difficult. But look what's happening now. My attention's here. Where am I? I'm here. I'm present. I'm not at work anymore. I'm here. So now go to the pulse on your wrist. Get really still. You feel your pulse will go boom, 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 boom. Then you go to the bicep, another pulse. Go to your neck. And in the end you go ding, 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 ding. You're literally turning on your body. By doing different areas, now you've got a blood flow connection there too. Remember, blood's going around your body like a waterfall all the time, non-stop, every single day. So effectively, no one can tell you what's going on inside your body. They don't know. It's just your feeling. So now take this imagination and go where certain places are of your body and give it new instructions. Give it some love. Give it some healing. Give it some attention. And then tell it what you want. That's where manifesting comes in, guys. So I think we've been brought into a world where it's just sleep and wake. And we've always been told now through science that we should sleep 8 hours a day. But I think we're awake for too long. I think 16 hours, there's not research on it to show that that's too long for us. So it's 8 hours sleep, 8 hours creating in a flow state. And creation can be a number of things, but it'd be meditation, it'd be playing sports, it'd be creativity, expressing yourselves, breath work. So you could do 8 hours of being in flow, and then 8 hours of just being a human being. All your hard work's done in your creation. So when you come out, what you're doing, you're vibrating. What you put out comes back. So you create first thoughts. Then you get the experience through your senses, feelings. And then you come here and you're vibrating. That's now. Does that make sense? So we got to do mind, body, and then the soul. It just works like that. Subconscious, conscious, awareness. We can choose whatever we want. Next one I've got, for people that struggle to meditate, you could do this for 8 minutes. It's called Shamanic Drums. And I'll play it, but I just want to show you how powerful this is as well. So this is another one. If you want to get just a bit of headspace, you've got so much been going on, you've got a meeting you've got to go to, you want to let go of some of the stress that you've taken home from to work, brought home with you from work. 8 minutes, 4 minutes even. So let me just show you the noise, because it doesn't sound appealing. And it's just constant. But because I'm thinking about it, it's like, oh, that don't sound good. When I'm there, if my thoughts go, say I'm here, my thoughts go, the drum pulls it down, boom, boom. And it keeps pulling me centre each time. My mind can't go wandering because the drum just pulls me back to the point where I'm gone again. Clear intention, elevated emotion. Yeah, it's so important. Another good analogy to look at is every thought, every word, everything's a vibration. So if I got really still and I thought of something, and I just kept thinking of one word, just say apple, 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 but you kept thinking it, you'll hear the vibration pass through. It's a vibration of the body. So every thought releases a whole new vibration. Everything that we put in our mind, again, will then manifest. So really, really powerful to get right to the source. If you feel a bad thought coming, flip it. What can I do as the opposite? I hold my breath, realise when it's over. When I'm over thinking whilst I'm meditating. They call it the gap. They say it's the moment you realise you're in it, you're not in it anymore. It's that moment between past and present, past and future, and you're literally just bang in that moment of, it's the ocean of consciousness again. You've literally returned to it. The more that you can disconnect from the noise, the more you'll tap into your inner wisdom. And then something like this is a really, really good way to, again, you can do body scans. I know it's not good. I hold my breath. Yeah, I think breath work's just as powerful. So my analogy is oxygen starves the ego. The more you breathe, the more you hold, the more the ego can't breathe anymore. And then the soul comes through. The soul literally can experience everything of your creation then. So I think that with music, with the right direction, works really well. And then another thing that you can do, I can share the playlist with you. But creation, so parents out there, you can do this with your kids as well. Like you can literally get to the stage where you can design your own art studio with them. You can design their own magical place and you get them involved with it to start with. What would you have in your magical place? And they might say rainbows, waterfalls, rainforest. Like you get them to explain, why would you have that in there? So already they're building into this creation that you're going to do together. And then you can put different music on where you get them to think of different animals. So, for example, where am I? And you get so creative that when you're just sitting there, these different songs come on, and my intention is, where am I? And I'll go everywhere. I'll go on the desert. I'll go, let me just show you a really powerful one. So I go to like a shaman ceremony, and I'm picturing like log fires in the middle, all my tribe around the outside, all the spirits around. You can create all of it. And again, sounds nuts, but I enjoy the process. For me now, I get look forward to doing my meditation, because throughout that whole time, my whole body just feels like in harmony. People don't really know what happiness is. It's like we keep searching for it. What I realise is when you come into meditation, happiness is literally where you do nothing. You're literally just being, and then you laugh to yourself. It's so simple. If I can create that feeling first, and then I remember it, then I experience it, I can go back to it every time. The reverse effect. So now, keep happiness, keep happiness. Now open my eyes. The world's in front of me. I'm present. Keep happiness, keep happiness. You fucking keep happiness. COVID, keep happiness. No one can change my feeling anymore. The movie will play out in front of me. I'm present. I always now have a choice. I go with my gut feeling. And I don't feel right. It feels a bit dodgy over there. Gut feeling, go this way. If you can keep checking in with yourself like that, go with your gut. You always make the right choice. It's a soulful choice. When we make the wrong decision, it's an egotistical one, and your soul will let you know, I told you, I gave you the warning sign, I said something was dodgy about them, you still go with it anyway. Happiness is a cigar called Hamlet. Please save the life. Yeah, of course. So I'll give you a few different examples. So something like this, to heal your inner body. And you can hear like the vibrations from the music. And then I'd ramp it up, and like literally people can change their energy there in a matter of minutes. So if you're feeling shit, your main thing is just go and do this. Another playlist. So one of my playlists is called Divine. Actually, let me see if I can put it in. It's called Divine Healing on Spotify. I'll share it in the Let's Talk Health Telegram group. And then just get creative with it. Find things that work for you. But the key bit, first of all, is the discipline. Actually, I'm going to be doing 10 minutes here. Or you block that time off. Like, no distractions for it. Make sure you do that bit. Don't expect to feel something within that session every single time. Like, that's not the whole idea of it. The whole idea of it change the rest of your life. Once you start getting into it, you'll then enjoy that feeling too. But you knowing that your body inside on its own is benefiting. If you're effectively leaving your body's not working. You'll age a lot less time because you're not there. So when you go back, okay, I'm now using my body again, but I'm aware of all the energy I'm wasting from these thoughts. I'm checking in with myself. It literally changes every part of your life. I could get you into kids doing their tests, nervous on the test. We literally take them into it. Okay, what's your best choice be? Boom. Are you happy with that decision? Yes. Boom. How are you feeling? Great. Take them through the whole example. Like literally, that's how we create. You go and experience something first, then notice all the fear and all the anger, and just realise, fuck, it's just a feeling. Anger, anger, anger. Fear, fear, fear. Happiness. Right, happiness. Now open your eyes again. You go back to that feeling. You just change it. I'd rather meditate than go out. Mate, for anyone that used to love raving, I love going to a good rave. I can create my own rave now. Like, it's euphoric. I literally go in it. All my favourite people are there. I don't know who the DJ is, but it's this light in the sky. I create it all. And the best way that I would say meditation is it's vacation for your soul. Your ego's under tension. It can't come in. So literally, whilst I'm in this meditative space, my soul is having a time of its life. It's being heard. It's dancing. Like it's doing what it's meant to be, creating, experiencing. But when I come back then into this being, waking up, My ego is like, I'm back. But my soul doesn't get caught in the drama anymore. It deals with the ego. And then when you go to sleep, they both rest. That's my interpretation of it now. But meditation's allowing you to let your intuition do what it needs to. And also, whilst it's speaking, you're hearing. So someone said a good one. Prayer is your talking to God. Meditation is your listening to God. So whatever this energy source is, you'll get your answers. But remember, answers don't just come from one of the senses. Answers can come from a feeling, a smell, a noise, a taste. That's the power of this as well. Start using your senses in everything you do in life, and you'll start picking up stuff a lot easier. So for example, anyone that tries selling to you, especially on social media, go on their profile and just put silent and just watch them talk. Do they look like they're enjoying selling their product? Do they look like they're enjoying their job that they're doing that they say is the best in the world? If you look at it as if you can't hear. Very different story. And then you get even more creative. When there's a noise that you don't like, you drown it off, put lovely music in the background. Like, even today, looking angry and feeling like, oh, they're happy. Like, we can change our experience by just tuning into a different sense. Because be careful, if it's energy, the bastards, that's it. But again, being aware of your energy. I can go into a room now, I already know it's going to be quite like drama and a lot of people holding on to these stories. Like I got the anticipation. So I literally would go into the room and imagine I've just drawn this whole protective energy on there. I'll go onto the beach, and I did this in Brazil. And again, you can call me loopy as you want. I'd lay there, no sun cream, and I'm a proper green guy. I burn, I turn into a lobster, I used to. My skin's resilient, my skin's hydrated, my skin's moisturised, my skin is 50, factor 50. I'm telling myself that. Literally for the first 5 minutes, it seems to work. You could say it's bullshit. If not, it's my body, it's my experience. I didn't get burnt. I like the idea of that. And again, if you can keep telling yourself that and having your own internal jokes with yourself, the only thing that's not working is then your doubt. So again, tune in. It's turning everything inside, and all your answers will come. So with this as well, frustration. It's another bad vibration. We get frustrated. We didn't feel anything. We didn't get our answer. We couldn't sit still. That's part of it. Then notice, why am I getting frustrated? Why couldn't I sit still? Then go again. Things don't happen in an instant. Like, we have to keep working at it. But knowing that your life will change. 1000%, your life will change. All your answers will come. Whenever you've got a problem, you go back into it. It's so powerful just to check out from everything. And again, I know my body's the healthiest it's ever been because I get shown it. I get told it. And then you can go forward into the future, and you can go back into past lives, which I can show you. You get some really good experiences there too. So just wanted to throw it back out to you then. It's just any questions within meditation, because like I said, it's perceived in so many different ways. But my main kind of feedback for all of this is meditation's not thoughts. Meditation's a feeling. So get used to tapping in with your feeling, because a lot of time we don't go with our gut feeling. And the more you start doing it, then it'll make more sense. Sit with it. And then turn it into a creation. It doesn't have to be boring. It's like, I look forward to doing it. The words that you use, I can't meditate. Doesn't work for me. Change that. That's the first thing. How are you? Do you practice? No, I don't do Kundalini at all. I went to a class 2 weeks ago, and they made us do animal noises in the first 5 minutes. Do noises of the ocean. I'm sitting there like, what? The guy's making a sheep noise next to me, and I'm like, that doesn't sound like an ocean animal either. But I'd love to get into it. I love anything that takes me different places. Any other questions, guys? But I've got this playlist as well. So here's another thing. If you think of anything as a vibration again, and everything comes in twos, they're opposites. Harry's no sheep. So they're coming opposites, Manny. Positive, negative, ego, soul, grow, protect, love, fear. Always an opposite. So if we just stripped it right back, what are you doing? Are you in a love state or fear state? I'm angry. Cool, that's fear. No argument. That's it. Just go back to the source again. Let's do the same with music. So what can I meditate to deep? Yeah, mate, best thing. But tell yourself, I'm going to sleep like a baby. I'm going to have the best night's sleep ever. And you go into the meditation when your eyes are closed, you're imagining the best sleep. So it'd be like fluffy pillows, loads of cushions, like literally just falling back into the abyss of bliss. Create it. But whilst you're there, like, feel it. Oh, this feels good. Your body will respond to it. Again, it's just a thought. That's all it is. Will you do a live meditation? Yeah, of course. I love creating and stuff as well, with music and not. Again, it depends. If you've got your missus in the bed, you don't want flutes playing all night. But if you can somehow put a timer on it, I encourage music. Or even better, I'd say, is Audible. Get a Wayne Dyer book or Eckhart Tolle. You'll 100% fall asleep within about 8 minutes. And then at the very least, you'll get some amazing teachings from them too. But I used to go to bed, normally on a come down and completely off my tits, listening to Eckhart Tolle. So whilst I was on a come down, I'm just getting him just telling my soul, like, fix up, come on. I reckon I know that book off by heart now, New Earth, because I used to just have it on all the time. So 8-minute timer, 15-minute timer, and just know that you'll either learn or you fall asleep, but it calms you down. The other thing is, before you go to bed, check in with your energy. If you was to answer for your loved one or your kids, and they said, what's your energy like out of 10 right now? What would they rank it? And then you kind of get rid of your little ego. Oh, no, I'm fine. No, you look stressed. You're fidgety. As soon as you become aware of that, then you can turn it off. Okay, I'm relaxed now. I'm leaving it. It's parked. But a lot of time we don't know how to switch off. Drinks of water, breath work. Again, find something that works for you. There's no right or wrong. But the key bit is, if you want it to change, you need to change. So try something. And this is the other thing, guys, with meditation. Why wouldn't you? Oh, I haven't got time for that. Yeah, but your whole life's stressed. 10 minutes. Your whole life would change if you just did that. It's like, by giving up 10 minutes, you'll be better with your time as well. So for me, it's like, get out of what you think meditation is and just think, I'm going to improve my day now. I'm going to improve my day. It's my day plus checkout. You call it whatever you want. But if you've got that disassociated meditation, or you hear that, oh, it's not for me, I can't do that, I'm telling you, work on it. Mate, RSO and meditation, that's going to be my future business. So once RSO, guys, is cannabis oil, Rick Simpson oil. It's a lot of work we've done with clients over the years. But we have a system called our endocannabinoid system. Don't get taught about it at school, in fitness, in biology. No one knows about it, but yes, it's the most powerful system we have in our body. Nowadays, you can see loads of TED Talks on it too, so it's more spoken about, but still wouldn't even be looked at when we look at cancer and stuff. But imagine you've got all these capillaries literally all over your body to the final minuscule level. That's your endocannabinoid system, and its main job is to bring you back to balance. If something's wrong, they go, oh, that place there, and that effectively how your body works. Like I said, we're in control of our whole body. Half the time we don't know the minuscule level. When you have cannabis oil, your whole body lights up like a Christmas tree, and then you can sit there and you can literally go and get reconnections again. Everything is connections from here, and then all your different responses are just signals just going through your body. We're light beings, we're energy. Control this, and that will then follow. And again, it's believing. It's denying that you've got a cold, or when people say that you're going to get ill from it. No, it's not. If I've got a runny nose, that's not mine. Just deny it. My nose ain't got a brain, so that hasn't taken the cold. Who's taken it? I must have. It's my cold. It's not mine anymore. Tell yourself. If you've got a bad stomach, it's not like, oh, I've got a bad stomach. Oh, my stomach's working for me. It's getting rid of all the shit that I've had today. It's just overtime. Change the way that we signal these responses, and your body will change too. And that brings it right back to your body's got your back all the time. So if you know your body's got your back, and it's, when you cut yourself, it fucking sends the fireworks and stuff there, you know that. So if you now have got a bad belly, maybe that's your body going, oh, he's eating crap again, let's get rid of it, it's going to make a lot of noise again. Maybe that's the sign that we need to check in. Something don't sound right, something feels a bit uncomfortable. Rather than ignoring it, it's mostly your soul telling you, and then do something about it, knowing that you'll get healthier, you'll get happier, you'll get clearer. That's where it is, listen to your body. Again, when you're in meditation, it will talk to you. I actually went to get this 6-month exemption from work. I've not been sick since 2019. How can I catch... Yeah, exactly. And yeah, it's baffling. But again, if we just taught people how the body worked, like put me on a chat show with Boris Johnson, I'll just ask him a few questions. Why haven't we gone down this route? Why do we need to do this when we can do that? And I'd explain it to him. You'd see the guy would stutter even more than he has been recently. But the body works if we told it what to do. That's it. Like, we don't need tablets. We don't need Calpol. We don't need an aspirin. If you just said, drink some water, go sleep, don't drink that crap next time. Great advice. Can you see it's easy? Funny nose, inflamed, sinus change. You're eating that. So run it. Yeah, if it's doing it, it's flushing out now. Look at it as the last bit of the process. Right, I'm going to give you some backing now. Go and flush some more out. A good sleep, and then we'll be fine tomorrow. Work with your body. It's body, mind, and soul. Treat them all individuals. If I look after my body, my soul's more happier. If I look after my body, I'll be more clear, and my body will just respond. It's a cycle. Any tips for healing? Seriously, low back? Yeah, so same sort of thing. You can do it with music and stuff as well. So any pain's a signal. No, don't do that. Your body's saying, don't do that, don't do that. Keeps you away from it. But what it looks at is the actual pain point. So if you've got a bad lower back, yeah, so lower back, this is the way that I explain it. So we've got 3 main joints. We've got your thoracic, your T-spine, we got your hips, and we got your ankle. That's your foundations. So lower back is just the unlucky guy between my thoracic and my hip. And that every time I step, my back takes all the pain. It's not my back's fault. It's the same when I get a bad knee. My foot hits the floor, my hip goes over, but the knee is the unlucky guy taking every single collision that you do in your life. So focus on movements like this. So you've got call it lateral flexion, rotation, and then twisting into this position too. Thoracic, hips. Then you can do that in your meditation space. So you can literally sit there, tell it what you want, move it to the point where your body allows it to go. Because again, your body's got your back. Don't go there. Okay, so just go where I'm allowed to, back. Twist, twist. And all you're doing is sending signals to your body to say, actually, I've got this. I'm in control. I'm in control. Let go now. Communicating with your body again. It's the best thing hearing you say, I felt. It's the best thing hearing you say what I have felt my whole life. Yeah, it's okay, here's another one. Go and read all the books pre-1930. Like literally all your answers there for the human body, the subconscious mind, manifesting, spirituality. Literally all the answers are there. I believe that we're not in the year that we're told. I believe that there was a reset before. But these books are so advanced. There's one I've just finished today, The Master's Key System, 1915. And it's talking to me, I'm like, how have we not been taught this? It's so simple, guys. Literally, everything that we do, let's say that I'll give myself instructions. I'll tell you, you're going to be a millionaire. There's that little voice straight away that said, no, I'm not. What's he talking about? That little voice, that's your ego. That's still energy, though. I'm going to be a millionaire. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. The last thing that was thought is the vibration that goes off. What you put out comes back. So all these little doubts that we have, I got what I want, but I'm not confident on it. So no, you're not going to do that. You haven't got enough money. You haven't got enough time. I'm out of shape. Da-da-da-da. That's what goes out, and that's why we don't get results. So that's when we get back into meditation. You think it first, but it's not just your thoughts. You have to now get that sensation, experience to it, and then be patient. Work at it on your whole life. I've got loads of different things. So people with speech impediments, people with cerebral palsy. If you are in control of your mind, which most people are, you can change your whole makeup. Parents that label their kids with ADHD, or my kid's got ADHD, or my kid's dyslexic, and you treat it like it is dyslexic or ADHD. Think about it, they're words. They're just words that someone's given a meaning to it. And we put these identities on our kids. And if we just treated them as a normal person still, spoke to them the same way, at this moment in time, yes, they might have that identity. If you kept working, that you know things are going to change, they will. And I've got good examples of certain books. Napoleon Hill, his son was born deaf. And for years that they weren't having it. And, what's the book called? I'll get the name of the book as well. Napoleon Hill, it's one of the main books about money. And just the way that after a while, this boy starts hearing. And I've seen different examples of this throughout when we put the power of our mind there. If we can teach our kids that they're in control, and we keep reinforcing that too, and we do it because they follow us, they'll be able to change everything with their body. It's the variation of normal. It's like, what is normal? Normal at the moment is people that don't think for themselves. Let's use unique. We're all unique. Yeah, the Master's Key System. The other one, guys, is everyone has to get this book. The Secret of the Ages. Robert Collier. I listened to that book. I was like, wow, amazing. No one's recommended this one before. 1926. I was gobsmacked. If you just get an Audible and just go straight to the last chapter, it's an hour. Everyone should listen to that. You could literally change your life listening to that book too. Secret of the Ages as well. He shows you like the power of magic and word magic, and how we make ourselves ill by what we associate with certain things. So example he uses in the book is when your little kid is sitting in the draft, like they're sitting in the hallway or something, and there's a draft on them. What would you say to your little kid? Get out the draft, you'll get a cold. That kid hears that again and again. What happens when they sit in a draft or they notice they're in a draft? Fuck, I'm going to get a cold. That's literally the imprint that we put on people. When we keep reinforcing just something that we said. It's just words. Like, I deny everything. If someone says that make you ill, no, it won't. As long as it looks eatable, I'll eat it. Like, the pH level of the water being a 6 or a 7. It's irrelevant to me. Like, I'll literally tell myself what I need to get out of my system. And again, listening to yourself. We know what's wrong. We know what's bad for us. But there's certain things that we do want. It looks amazing. We know when we overeat. We know when we feel lethargic. We know when we could have made better choices. We know we could have been less lazy. We know. So then it comes back to a choice. Rather than excuses, am I happy with what I'm doing right now? Yes, cool. And if I'm not happy, just know I can make a change now. Let's meditate. Let's see what I need to do next. Bring it back to that. Another thing, actually, so I waffle on, but I might as well keep you as you're all on. I used to write for a local newspaper in the city. And when I first started getting into meditation, it's the best to have the title what you're going to write. And I literally would come out and I know what paragraphs would be. And if you can go straight into that, you can go into a flow writing state as well. Literally come out and just start writing. It doesn't have to make sense to start with, but once you get going, you'll be in flowetry. And it's been really, really powerful if I've got to do things with a deadline, if I've got to be creative and got to get some words done. I try to get it out in flow first, and I go and analyse it after to make sure that it sounds all right. So I'm hoping that gives you some ideas for meditation. I'll share a Think Future Feel Now creation I did a a while ago, and guys, give that a go as well. If you're new to meditation, it's a great place to start because it just takes you in straight away. And then play around with them. The mantras, remember, you're just repeating Om, Bija, Namaha, just silently in your head. The next one was just silence, and again, you can ask a question. You can ask for a decision to be made. You can ask what to do next, which I like, is quite a good one. But just ask one question, keep repeating it, and imagine that imagine that question as a rock. So you've asked a question, and then you let go of the question. And then the rock hits the water, the lake. And those ripples, that's manifest. So imagine you've let it go, it's hit the ocean, and now your body's just doing what it needs to. That's the best analogy I took from mantras. Then you've got the drums, which I think is a nice creative one. Again, if you'll struggle with it, put the drums on. And then get creative. Play around with the music. Ask yourself questions. Where am I? Then maybe create a space that you guide your kids through, and vice versa, and pick up on the energy whilst you're doing it. And yeah, the rest of that, Divine Healing on Spotify. I'll share the link with you guys in the Lads Talk Health Telegram group. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Have a great weekend, people. I'll be on tomorrow, I'm sure. We're releasing our membership site tomorrow as well, so everything will be sent over and we'll get these experiences going. Yeah, Lads Talk Health on Telegram group. Have a brilliant evening. I'll speak to you soon.